Hari Om. This is a session about how to plan your lesson for the lesson examination of the teacher training program. Why this lesson that whatever you're doing in the exam, why are you doing it? It is to test if you can do the different yoga techniques that are generally included in a typical yoga class. Also, if you can manage the time well. For example, the class is of 60 minutes. How are you going to design these techniques to fit into this time period? Then also there are different ways you give instructions in the class. The relaxation instructions are given, breathing instructions are important, the body awareness instructions are there. So how are you going to give these different instructions? This lesson will test you. Also, how to put the sequence of these different yoga practices. How to start the session, where to include the chanting, where to include the pranayam, where to include the standing asanas, where to include the balancing asanas. So this is about sequencing. Then how much relaxation you should include, how many different shavasanas you include, and where do you include them. Also whether you are including counter positions, warm-up positions, and the instructions. Also, we will test you if you can teach a new yoga pose. Now what to include in this lesson exam, in this lesson? Now you all remember you have done 11 micro lessons. Now all those micro lessons will be helpful here. Now this contents of this lesson do not go beyond your micro lessons. So this is something you have already done. For example, warm-ups, you have done them. Preparatory movements and sun salutations, and both are included in this lesson. Then new asana teaching. There's one asana pose, one yoga pose or asana that you need to teach in this lesson. Then warm-up revision means when you're teaching a new asana, you take a easier asana, which is a preparatory asana for this particular new asana. That is warm-up revision, which you have done. You're going to do it here also. Then there is longer duration pose. So you're going to tell the students to maintain a particular asana for a minute or a 2 minute, and then give instructions for maintaining that asana in steady, comfortable way. Then the next is there are 3 revision asanas, yoga poses for you. 2 we have given in the list and 1 you have to select. 1 is your optional one. Then there are relaxation poses such as Shavasana, Makarasana, which you need to put into this lesson as and when required. Then there are 3 techniques of breathing, pranayam. The first is a dynamic pranayam, might be Kapalbhati or fast breathing. Then there are few relaxing pranayams such as Ujjayi, Brahmari, Shitali or Sitkari. You have to select one of that, and then alternate nostril breathing. Then there is initial and final components of your class. That can be a prayer or a mantra or a meditation. That is up to you. That's your freedom. Now put all of these things into sequence and give timings to each of the components. That's your lesson plan. And then this lesson plan, you're going to send it to us. We will check it and then we will make some corrections and send it back to you before you actually conduct this lesson. So now we are going to see how you will put together this lesson plan with all these contents that I have given you here. For example, we're going to look at this a sample list. So your list that we will give you will look like something in this fashion. Of course, it's not properly arranged. The sequence is all not properly given. So you have to arrange it in a proper way. For example, the sample lesson, what does it read? There are say 12 techniques here. Vakrasana type 2. In the bracket it says warm-up revision. So this asana you have to include, and this is a warm-up revision. Now this is a warm-up revision for a new asana number 6, Ardha Matsyendrasana or half spinal twist. Vakrasana is a twisted pose and Ardha Matsyendrasana is an advanced twist. So you're going to include these two asanas and arrange it in such a way that you conduct Vakrasana first and then you go for Ardha Matsyendrasana. So the sequence you have to decide, but here in this list we have not given the sequence. Now in other lists that you will receive, there will be different combinations of asanas. Say inverted pose or Viparit Karani will be a warm-up revision and a shoulder stand or Sarvangasana will be a new asana. And you have to arrange it. So you have to find it out and arrange it. Then you can also see Kapalbhati or fast breathing. This is a dynamic breathing. So you can select either of these, Kapalbhati or fast breathing type 3. You know the fast breathing 6 types. The type 1 is just both nostril inhalation, both nostril exhalation, but speed faster. Type 2 is left nostril inhalation and left nostril exhalation. Type 3 is right nostril inhalation, right nostril exhalation. So you can find out which type is there for you and you can use either fast breathing or Kapalbhati. Then you can say Shalabhasana is revision asana 2. Then there are Surya Namaskars, 2 Surya Namaskars. Now the first Surya Namaskar is you have to do it with mantra number 6. There are 12 mantras as you know and a full mantra, a long one. So here you have to use mantra number 6. In this case it will be Om Raha Pushne Namaha. That will be number 6. But you can get different numbers. So you have to chant that mantra for that. And the second Surya Namaskar will be with full mantra. That long mantra Om Ram Reem Room Raim Rom Raha Mitra Ravi Surya Bhanu Khag Pushana Hiranya Garbha Maricha Aditya Savitra Arka Bhaskarebhyo Namo Namaha. Then you can see another asana called Uttana Padasana, which is both legs raised pose. It's a revision asana number 1. Then Ardha Matsyendrasana, as we have already discussed, is a new asana. Then Saralasta Bhujangasana, the straight arm cobra, is a long duration pose. Then it says alternate nostril breathing. Now the ratio is given. Ratio is given 1:2. What is this ratio? Inhalation and exhalation. The ratio is exhalation is twice of inhalation. So if I select inhalation in 3 counts, then exhalation will be 6 counts. If I select inhalation in 4 counts, exhalation will be 8 counts. Generally, you can select either of these 3:6 or 4:8. And the ratio is 1:2 for both. Then it's written as initial prayer and final prayer. Now you have a freedom. Initial, you can chant any mantra. Final also you can chant any mantra, or you can conduct a small meditation in the beginning or at the end. But don't forget to chant Om at least once. Then there's preparatory movements. Now here it says any 4 or any warm-ups. And this is an important part. This comes at the beginning of our class. So you have a freedom. You can select from preparatory movements 1 to 12, or you can select the Tadasana, Tiryak Tadasana or Kati Chakrasana, or you can select some other arm movements or leg movements or knee movements as per your choice. Generally 4 movements you select. Then there is a revision asana number 3, which is your own choice, which you can use. And there is a relaxing pranayam. Any of these, Ujjayi, Shitali, Sitkari or Brahmari, you have to select. Now what you have to do is you have to rearrange all these things. When it comes to asanas, we generally stick to the order supine asanas first, then we go to prone asanas, then we go to sitting asanas, and then the last is standing asanas before we do the shavasana and then do the pranayam. So how you start? Let's put these things together in the next slide. Also, please remember to insert shavasanas because they are not given in this sample list, but your lesson will include shavasanas. Then wherever required, your lesson should include counter positions. For example, straight arm cobra pose. The counter position is not given here. It's a long duration asana, it's a strong pose. So maybe you want to include child's pose or Vajrasana Yoga Mudra as a counter to this. Also, warm-up positions you need to include. For example, Shalabhasana. It's a strong pose on your lower back. So warm-up pose like one leg Shalabhasan you can include, or not in this lesson but in any other lesson. If you have lotus pose, then you can include knee and hip movements as a warm-up before the lotus pose, Padmasana. So let's move ahead and rearrange this sample lesson into a proper order. Let's look at this order. You always start with the initial prayer. The purpose is being discussed many times. It's to bring the focus, relaxation to the mind of the student. You can also repeat a resolve here to start. Resolve is always helpful. So this is initial prayer. And then after that, initial prayer you do it in meditative pose, sitting, keeping the spine upright. Then the next is preparatory movements. Any four you can select. After the preparatory movements, one can practice 2 Surya Namaskars. The first round will be description of each posture, so it will take a little longer. And the second round will be a little shorter, where you're using short description and you're using breathing. In the first Surya Namaskar round, the breathing will be normal breathing. So then after preparatory movements and Surya Namaskar, which is like slightly more dynamic, which may elevate the heart rate a little bit, you need to give a practice of Shavasana, because before starting the asanas, the heart rate and blood pressure should come back to normal. Now after the Shavasana, we will start the asanas. First, let's arrange it in supine position. The revision asana 1, which is Uttana Padasana, it's from supine. So I'm putting Uttana Padasana as first asana here after Shavasana. It's a both leg raise pose. And then after that, there is no other supine position asana. So what I'm going to do is I will include the prone position after this, that is Shalabhasana, which is a revision asana number 2. And then there is one more prone position asana, that is Saralhasta Bhujangasana, which is longer duration. So it's quite a strong pose. So first I do Shalabhasana, then I do Saralhasta Bhujangasana. Now because Saralhasta Bhujangasana is a strong pose, back bend, I need to include a gentle counter pose. So I'm including Vajrasana Yoga Mudra. It's a counter to these back bends. Both, it will help in both. Now after that, I have practiced already 4 asanas. So I can give a quick relaxation, a very brief relaxation, just to refresh and recharge my class students. So I put relaxation, and after that I go to sitting position because I have already completed supine and prone. And then I go to sitting position asanas. Now in sitting position asana, I have a warm-up revision, which is Vakrasana type 2, and followed by Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is a new asana. So I rearrange them, Vakrasana first, and then I tell the students in Vakrasana that we are going to do Ardha Matsyendrasana after this, which in reality I am going to conduct. So then Ardha Matsyendrasana is a new asana. Again, please remember, Vakrasana, when you do it, you're going to do it from both sides. Ardha Matsyendrasana also both sides, but for Ardha Matsyendrasana, you're doing 2 times demonstration. You're talking about benefits, precautions, and all of that, exactly as per the mark list. Then there is a revision asana 3. Now what I'm going to do is I notice here that standing asana is missing in this list. So I may want to select a standing asana, say triangle pose or warrior pose. But not necessary that you have to select any asana from standing. If you want to include some sitting asana or even in supine position or even inversion, that's up to you. I'm just trying to make this class a bit more balanced, which includes different variety of asanas from different positions. And that's why I'm selecting a standing asana here. Now with this revision 3, I come to finish all my asanas. come to the end of all the asanas, and then I have to give Shavasana, which is very necessary before you start pranayam. And in pranayam, I am putting the sequence. First is Kapalbhati or fast breathing type 3, which is like a dynamic practice. It's very good to recharge the get rid of the carbon dioxide, re-energize yourself by increasing the oxygen, cleaning the air passages because of the fast breathing, which is going to help me in alternate nostril breathing and relaxing breaths after that. So after that, Kapalbhati or fast breathing type 3, only one I am going to do, and then I go for alternate nostril breathing. Let's select a ratio of 4:8, and then after this alternate nostril breathing, I will go for any of these four, either Ujjayi or Brahmari or Shitali or Sitkari. When I finish with this pranayam, I go for final prayer. It might be Omkar chanting, and plus maybe a quick meditation or only meditation. But make sure that initial and final prayer, at least once you include Omkar. Now let's see how you're going to put it on the paper. We are going to send you a Word document which will have this list. Look at the top row, the headings. What does it say? Time in minutes, time planned, actual time, technique name, and purpose. So this first column, time in minutes, this is what we are going to fill up now. The technique name is first technique. As we made a list, let's put first technique, that is initial prayer. What is the purpose of it? You need to write. The purpose of initial prayer is focus and relaxation. So you write that purpose also. Now generally, if you chant 3 Omkars and Guru Brahma, so you ask the students to sit in a meditative pose, then they relax with your instructions, then they chant 3 Oms and Guru Brahma. All of that takes about 3 minutes. So I'm writing 3 minutes in the first column. The same row as initial prayer. So if I start timing, say for example, I am starting the class at 6:30, I write 6:30 there also. So at 6:30, I'm going to start. The time that I will take for initial prayer is 3 minutes. The next after that is I'm going to do preparatory movements. For example, I'm going to select 4, 5, 6, 7. You can select any. Say for example, I'm selecting this. And if I do it, the purpose is to loosen and warm up joints and muscles. Loosening and warming up, improving blood circulation. You can write the purpose, but make sure that you don't write too long. Not too long, not too short. Just 1 or 2 lines. It roughly will take 4 minutes. Now some warm-up movements may take very long, but please remember, we need a lot of time for asanas also. So we should not go beyond the times 10 minutes together with Surya Namaskar. So Surya Namaskar and preparatory movement should not be more than 10 minutes. Roughly around 9-10 minutes is a good time for warm-ups in a class of 60 minutes. 10 to 15% of the time of your class should be for warm-ups, not more than that. Then Surya Namaskar, 2 times. One is long one, the other is short one. But you're chanting mantras also. So roughly it takes about 6 to 7 minutes. So right now, for example, I'm writing here is 6 minutes. The purpose of Surya Namaskar is revitalizing exercise. It's a cardio also. And it's a complete warm-up for different body parts and joints and muscles as well. Now after this, as we have already written, we put Shavasana here. Right now I have written Shavasana timing as 2 minutes, but please remember that Shavasana timings can be readjusted depending on how the total time turns out to be. Now the purpose of the Shavasana is relaxation of body and mind. That also I have written. Now moving ahead, I'm going to include the asanas from our previous list. First asana we are including here is Uttana Padasana, both legs rest pose. It's a revision asana 1 as per the list, so I am writing that as first purpose. Then I am writing as it's an inversion, and then also it is a core strengthening exercise, a core strengthening yoga pose. But if you figure it out, it's just inhaling, raising both the legs, and exhaling, releasing both the legs. And you are starting this Uttana Padasana immediately after Shavasana. So the students are already lying down, so it's not going to take very long time. That's why I have written it 2 minutes here. Then Shalabhasana is a revision asana number 2. It's a back bend focused on lower back. That's the purpose. Now, although Shavasana is also inhale and raise the legs from behind in prone position, actually you need to change the position, because Uttana Padasana you are in supine position, and from supine you need to go to the prone position. So that will take a while. That's why I have written 3 minutes here. Now, what I have done here is I have included slightly few warm-ups for Saralhasta Bhujangasana. And the warm-ups are wrist warm-up and an easy back bend. What is that easy back bend? Easy cobra. So in the prone position, I raise up about 20 degrees and put my elbows on the ground, join my wrist, and in between my palms, I support my chin. And this will work as warm-up for Bhujangasana. The wrist warm-up can be just rotation of the wrist. And it will take not more than 2 minutes because it's just a simple warm-up. Then I go for Saralhasta Bhujangasana, straight arm up cobra pose. It's a long duration. Now if you refer to the list, the long duration for Saralhasta Bhujangasana is 1 minute. So 1 minute is maintaining the asana, but taking the position, then releasing the position, then you will talk about some instructions, some variations you will talk, little bit. That will take bit more time. So I have written 3 minutes here. Now look at this purpose. The purpose here is stretch on abdomen and strong back bend, or opening of chest also you can include. So this can be the purpose. Then after that, I have included one counter position to the Saralhasta Bhujangasana. And that counter position is Vajrasana Yoga Mudra, child's pose. It's a counter and a gentle forward bend. So I write that purpose. I'm not going to hold it for 1 minute. I'll probably hold it for 20 seconds to 30 seconds because it's a rule. When we do include a counter pose, you don't hold this counter pose to the same duration that you have held the first pose. You hold it half of its time, half of the time of the first pose, or a 1/3. So that is the counter position. And now then we have also planned the Shavasana. So I'm putting Shavasana after this to relax. Again, I have written 2 minutes, but please remember these Shavasana timings can be readjusted later on. So right now just keep it as it is. After Shavasana, we go for Vakrasana, which is again a warm-up revision and a spinal twist. Now, again, it's not a complex pose, but we have to do it from both sides. So I'm raising up from Shavasana, that is from prone position, supine position. I'm coming into sitting position. Then I'm doing Vakrasana. Then I'm actually giving some instructions in Vakrasana. So it will take a little while. So 2 minutes and 2 minutes. So say 4 minutes I am taking for this Vakrasana type 2. Then going for Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is a new asana and a spinal twist, but it's a stronger spinal twist than Vakrasana. So now here I have to show 2 demonstrations. I have to mention benefits, precautions, do's and don'ts, and I have to correct the students, and students will practice it left side once, right side once. So they'll also practice it 2 times. It's going to take long. So I write 7 minutes. So 6 to 7 minutes is a fair time. If you talk little less, then it may take 5 minutes. After that, I go for a standing asana because it is missing in this list. So I selected triangle, Trikonasana. Now Trikonasana is again, I have to get up from sitting position, then I have to go to standing position, then I have to move to one side of the mat, then spreading the legs, bending the knee, raising the arms, bending. So many more steps are involved in triangle Trikonasana. So it will take while, and I have to do it from both sides. So that's why I've written 5 minutes here. So now after these asanas, we go for Shavasana. This is very, very essential Shavasana before pranayam. And then after Shavasana, I am selecting fast breathing instead of Kapalbhati. But if you want, you can select Kapalbhati as well. What is the purpose? Revitalizing, purifying, and preparation for alternate nostril breathing. And I'm going to do it for 2 minutes. Alternate nostril breathing is balancing the nadis and relaxation. That is the purpose. I am selecting, say, ratio 4:8. 4 seconds inhalation, 8 seconds exhalation. So the ratio is 1:2. And say I'm doing it for 3 minutes. But again, please pay attention. Like we have kept Shavasana flexible, Shavasana timing flexible, we can keep the pranayam timing a little flexible. Say instead of, if we are running short of time, we can adjust a little bit. Say instead of 3 minutes alternate nostril breathing, if I have more time, I can make it 4 minutes. If I have little less time, I can make it 2 minutes. Or Brahmari, I have more time, I can make it even 4 minutes. So that's why pranayam and Shavasanas is something that you can control. So after alternate nostril, you go for Brahmari, which is for relaxation and concentration. And then after Brahmari, you go for final prayer followed by 3 asanas. The purpose is focus and relaxation. Now, if you do the final prayer like 11 times Omkar and say one mantra, say Mahamrutyunjay mantra you include, or say Durga mantra, the Shakti mantra, if you include, then, and 3 asanas, that is the Parvatasana, the mountain pose, then the Sharanagata Mudra, the gesture of surrender, and the Vrukshasana in standing. If you follow these 3, it will take about 6 to 7 minutes. If you're not doing this particular meditation, or sorry, this mantra, and you want to include something else, then you have to figure out the timing. But look, the initial prayer was around 3 minutes and this is about 6 minutes. So it's about 9 minutes. So it's about 10 to 15% of the total duration you are dedicating for initial and final component. Then Shavasana is about 6 minutes. So it's about 10% of your class is about Shavasana. Here pranayam is about 7 minutes. So it's about 11-12% of your class is about pranayam. So these proportions you have to keep in your mind. You have to also include one counter pose and one warm-ups pose or warm-up exercises before asana. Of course, the preparatory movements and warm-ups overall, that is there. But apart from that, you need to include this. So please don't forget to add these things. Then also make sure that the sequence of the asanas is right and the timing is well adjusted. So once you do this, you can send that lesson plan to us and we will check it for you. If there are any changes, we will suggest the changes and we'll send it back before your exam. And I'm sure you all will be very comfortable with this. So sending you the documents, we are sending you your list of asanas. If there is any question, feel free to contact and talk to us, and wish you all the best for this lesson exam. It's a beautiful opportunity for you to try this new skill, and I'm confident that you will be doing very well with all your micro lesson success. So wish you all the best. Hari Om.